Our next guest went from being a stay-at-home mom to a comedian and social media star, and she's got some projects that are major in the works.
Yes, her name is Zarna Garg. She's performing at the Tacoma Comedy Club this weekend. But first, she's stopping by Studio 13 Live. Hi.
Hi. Namaste. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so glad you're here. And you've had quite a life. You started, you came to America, you became a lawyer, you had kids, and then you became a stay-at-home mom, but you felt like you were dying inside. So tell us kind of this journey.
I was like, there's got to be more than Mommy and Me songs. I did a lot of that stuff, the Mom and Me classes and things, and I really wanted to get back to work and make my own money, and trying to figure out how to do that. Well, law was not an option. I'm licensed to practice in New York, but I'm so bad at law. You know what I mean? When you're that bad, it's like they made the decision for you. Oh, no. You have to find something else. I was so bad, I would take my own client to the judge and be like, Your Honor, my client has robbed the liquor store.
Oh my gosh.
It's like, just take him now. You and I both know he did it. Let's
You're just
go.
an honest woman is all.
Well, and turns out that doesn't lend itself well to some professions.
That is true. That is true.
Sounds like you made the right choice.
Yeah. So, of course, you were trying kind of comedy at home. What is it that led you to make that final push and do it out in the world?
I wasn't trying anything. I was never, my whole life, like I have so many kids. I'm always yelling at somebody about something. And these kids bring their friends home and they're like, one wants to be an artist. And I'm like, no, everybody be an engineer. I wasn't trying to be, I was just trying to be who I am from the world that I came from. My kids never took anything seriously, nor did their friends. They all started laughing. Actually, that happened in law too. I would send legal documents to opponents and they would be like, hey, this is so funny. I'm like, I'm trying to threaten you. What is happening? Like, did you read? I said, I'm going to sue you. And like somehow everything I wrote was funny. So it's really not anything that I had expected. And, my kids sort of, when I was really struggling, were like, you should just do comedy. And I'm like, that's not a job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, to me, a job is like a job with money and a paycheck. And he's like, no, Mom, like in America, people do stand-up comedy and it pays money.
What was it like the first time you tried it on stage? Do you remember that feeling?
Yeah, of course. My first open mic, I had no idea why I went there, but my kids kind of dared me to go. Because for 16 years, I was like, you should try something new. You should try something new. And then they were like, oh, are you too scared to try something new? So I was like, okay, I'm going to go. And so I can say that I tried it.
Yeah.
And I got on stage and I was like, white people do this? This is a job? Like, what? I can stand up here and trash my mother-in-law? And you're going to pay me for it? Let's go.
I love it. Now, you have worked with some high-profile folks, Kevin Hart, Hillary Clinton. Tell me what that was like.
It's incredible. I mean, it's just, you can't plan for it. I certainly didn't. I do what I do in the moment that I'm at. Like tonight, I'm at the Tacoma Comedy Club. My focus is on my audience. Who comes and watches and joins in the fun and then decides they want to do something else, that's a future thing. So I've been busy just doing my comedy. Everywhere I go, I yell at everybody. I tell everybody how horrible my mother-in-law is. Like, I have thoughts about being an immigrant in America, some political, very light political. I don't do politics, so many comedians do it. But people see me where they see me, and then new projects emerge. And these people and so many more have reached out in different capacities. So.
And speaking of new projects, you have a comedy special in the works.
That's right. That's right. We filmed it last year. It's going to be streaming worldwide in about 3 months on a major streaming service. They will make the announcement. It's their project now, but it's coming. It's going to come in time for Mother's Day, because things to do with your mom or things to do with your kids type of thing.
So I have a bit of a serious question for you, okay?
Yeah.
So I think a lot of the time, women, especially young women, think they need to accomplish everything they need to accomplish by the time they're 30, and there's a lot of pressure pressure there. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I'm proof that that's not necessary because it can't be done. We have to stop putting that pressure on ourselves because it just can't be done. And then what happens is if you're 35 and you didn't have your to-do list completed, you feel like a failure. But I didn't even think twice. I started comedy at 40-something, 43, 44. And the thing is, I didn't even think about my age. I was like, I'm just going to talk about my life and experience. We have to own that power back. And the only way to own it is to be like, whoever came up with this 30 rule, that's their rule for them, not for us.
I love that.
You just have to go and do it. And there is a world out there. Like, there are people who want to hear what we have to say at any age.
Yeah. I always love hearing, too, like, before someone becomes famous, where do you feel like you get the most material from?
Oh, everyday life. I live in New York City, so the material kind of writes itself. I take the subway every day. I see craziness. And then I have so many kids, and I have the husband who's like, he's such a nice guy, but my gosh, like, oh my God. Talk about a nerdy, like, you know, he goes from one room to another doing math, like living room math, kitchen math, bedroom math, and then he said, I travel so much, you know, because that's his life. And so things just kind of present themselves. Now I'm here in Seattle, I'm looking around at life here and getting so many new ideas. So I think if you open your eyes and look, actually just don't text or Instagram and look up.
Good advice.
A lot comes at you.
What do you think of Seattle? What's your impression of being here?
I mean, first of all, look, so many engineers. Like, right there. This city has my heart. You know what I mean? Like, I need to be in a town filled with doctors and engineers because I'm always pushing my kids to go in those directions. So just knowing that there's so many here and so many Indian engineers, it's like, it feels like home.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for spending time with us. You are just fantastic.
No, thank you for having me. Please let my mother-in-law know, too, that I'm fantastic.
I will write her a little letter and let her know.
So 25 years later, we haven't gotten there yet.
All right, Zarna Garg, and we posted a link to tickets on our website, fox13seattle.com/studio13live. You got to laugh in Tacoma, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.